Hello students, welcome back. So today we'll be switching to the next topic of matrices, that is adjoint of a matrix. So when I say adjoint of a matrix, what do we really mean by this term adjoint? So first we'll be discussing the mathematical definition and then I'll explain you what it really means. So when we say adjoint of a matrix, if every element of a square matrix by now you must be knowing number of rows equal to number of columns. So if every element of a square matrix A is replaced by its cofactor in determinant of A, this is the sign of determinant, then the transpose of the matrix obtained is called the adjoint. So see, it's necessary that you should be knowing all these terms, what is a square matrix, and we have cofactors, determinant and transpose. Only then will you be able to understand the concept of adjoint. So what does the definition say? If we replace each and every term in a square matrix by its cofactor and then we take the transpose of that matrix, then we'll obtain the adjoint of the matrix A. Another definition says if A equal to Aij is a square matrix of order n and Cij be the cofactor of Aij in A, then if we take the transpose of the matrix of cofactors, then that will be called the adjoint of A, and adjoint is usually denoted by this symbol. You write the short form Adj and the matrix. Matrix is always denoted by capital letters. So we have Adj capital A, which denotes the adjoint of matrix A, right? Okay, so next we have is, I'll show you what do we really mean by this. Suppose we have a matrix A and the general matrix you know is A11, A12, A13. This is a general 3 cross 3 matrix. So if the matrix A of order 3 is, we need a square matrix, right? So we have A11, A12, A13, A21, A22, A23, A31, A32, A33, right? Then what do we do in order to find the adjoint A? You first need to find the cofactors, right? So we first find the cofactor of this. Cofactor, you should refer my previous session if you don't remember. So the cofactor we have is C11 corresponding to A11. Similarly, corresponding to A12, we have the cofactor as C12. Similarly, for each and every element, I find out the cofactors. This is a matrix we obtain of cofactors, whole matrix, and then you are to take the transpose of this matrix, right? So we get C11, C21, C31. Now see, what do we mean by transpose? If you remember, transpose of a matrix is when you make the rows into corresponding columns, you change the rows as columns and columns into rows. This is the first column, C11, C21, C31. If I make it my first row, C11, C21, C31, then this is the transpose of this matrix. Similarly, the second column becomes the second row and the third column becomes the third row. So this is the matrix that we obtain after taking the transpose of the matrix of cofactors of A. This matrix is known as adjoint of the matrix A. This was quite simple, I suppose. Where Cij denotes the cofactor of Aij, this you already know. Okay, so now we have an example. If we are to find out the adjoint of the matrix 2 cross 2, general 2 cross 2 matrix, in fact not general, you can say the matrix A, which is given by A, B, C, D. You are to find the adjoint of this matrix. So what do we do? As we have already discussed, you first find out the cofactor of this element, right? So cofactor we obtain C11 is D. Similarly, you find out the cofactor of C12, which comes out to be C. Okay, if you want, I can remind you how do we find out the cofactors. Okay, let's compute for this one. C21. C21 is this element. In order to find the cofactor, what you do is you just cancel out this. This is for your understanding sake. You cancel out this row and this column. This row and this column which coincide at this particular element. So we are left with the element B. So we get it as B, and then for sign what you'll have to do is just add the subscripts, right? So what do you do? 2 plus 1, it comes out to be 3. This is odd, so this will give a negative sign. So we have minus B. So similarly you can compute C22, that comes out to be A. So what is the adjoint we get is C11, we write down like this, D minus B minus CA, and then you find out the transpose of this matrix of cofactors. So we have adjoint A as D minus B minus C and A. So this was quite simple. Okay, you might have noted, or in fact there's a tip to find out the adjoint directly for a 2 cross 2 matrix. This was how you will have to compute. In the last slide we discussed how to compute, but you can also find out the adjoint of the 2 cross 2 matrix directly. How do you do that? See, we have a matrix A as ABCD. Then what do I do if I am to compute the adjoint of the matrix A? What I can do is you just directly interchange the elements of the main diagonal, right? This is just noted, this is just for a 2 cross 2 matrix, not for any higher order matrix, right? So you just interchange these two elements. This becomes D and this becomes A. Next what you do is you just negate the rest of the elements. Negate means you just make it minus. If you have B, you will get it as minus B. If you would have had minus B, you would have made it as B. So just put a negative sign in front of the rest of the elements. So we get minus B and minus C, and this is the final adjoint, right? So what did I do? You just need to interchange the diagonal elements, the principal diagonal elements you should interchange, and the rest of the elements you are to negate. So you'll get the direct adjoint of the matrix. No need of any kind of computations, right? We have another example, and here we have a 3 cross 3 matrix. So in this case you'll have to compute, you'll have to go the long way, as we have already discussed for 2 cross 2. Now we have a 3 cross 3 matrix, right? So find the adjoint of the matrix A. This is a 3 cross 3 matrix. So what do I do? First step, always remember you have to find out the cofactors corresponding to each element. So I take this element, we have C11. What do? You need to cancel out these column and this row. You are left with 1 minus 0. This gives me 1, and for sign 1 plus 1 is 2, that is even, so we'll have a positive sign. So we get it as 1. Similarly, you compute C12, C13 and so on, we get C33, right? Once you get all the cofactors, you just form the matrix of cofactors. This is the matrix of cofactors. You write down C11 here, C12, C13. Similarly, you get this matrix and then find out the transpose of this matrix. So you get adjoint A as transpose again 1 3 1 becomes first row 1 3 1. Then we have second column 3 1 3. It becomes my second row, and my third column becomes my third row. So this is the adjoint of the 3 cross 3 matrix A. I hope you would have understood by now. Okay, so next we have is properties of adjoint of a matrix, right? If A and B are square matrices, again square matrices of order n, then the following properties hold good. A into adjoint A gives me determinant of A into In, that is n cross n identity matrix, which is again equal to adjoint A into A. So whether you multiply A with the adjoint of A or you multiply adjoint A with A, you will get it as determinant of A into identity matrix. Do remember these properties, they often prove useful in solving various questions, right? Or they can in fact be asked directly also in exams. Second property says determinant of adjoint of A is equal to determinant of A raised to n minus 1, where the order of matrix A is n, right? This property is important. You can use it in questions directly. If you have to find out the determinant of adjoint A, what you can do is you can directly compute the determinant of A raised to the power n minus 1. Instead of finding the adjoint, you can directly compute this value, because we know as per this property that these two values are always equal. Next we have is adjoint of A is equal to determinant of A raised to n minus 2 into matrix A. This property is in fact also very useful. Do remember it. Then we have adjoint of A transpose is equal to adjoint of A whole transpose. So what does this mean? This just means if you find out the transpose of matrix A and then you find out the adjoint of the resultant matrix, that will be same as computing the adjoint of A transpose of adjoint of A, right? So this was also quite simple. Next we have is again continuation of properties of adjoint. Adjoint of AB, product AB, and you find out the product of two matrices AB, and then you find out the adjoint of the product AB, or you find out the adjoint of B and you multiply it with the adjoint of A. Both the values will always be same. Next is adjoint of A raised to M is equal to adjoint A whole raised to M. So if you compute the matrix A raised to M and you find out the adjoint of that, that will come out to be equal to adjoint of A raised to the power M. Similarly, these two properties are same. Adjoint of KA is equal to K raised to n minus 1 adjoint of A, where K is in fact any constant real number, right? So if you are to find out the adjoint of a K times matrix A, that will be equal to K raised to n minus 1, you can take it out common, and then into adjoint of A. This is simple. Adjoint of 0 is obviously 0, and then we have if A is symmetric, then adjoint A is also symmetric. Do remember these properties also? These can also prove useful. If we have a symmetric matrix A, then adjoint of A is also adjoint of A will also come out to be symmetric. Symmetric, if you remember, we have already discussed, is when A equal to A transpose, then that matrix is said to be symmetric. Again, okay, if A is diagonal, then adjoint A is also diagonal. If A is triangular, then adjoint A will also come out to be triangular. We have an example. You can expect questions of this form also in your exams. This question is also very simple. See, if a matrix A, we have a matrix A of this form PQRS, then we are to find out the determinant of A into adjoint of A. So, first of all, when you have to compute this value, what will you find out? First find out adjoint of A, then we'll find out A into adjoint of A, and then we'll compute the determinant of this value, right? So what do? I write down A as this, then I have adjoint A. I have already told you this is a 2 cross 2 matrix, so just interchange your main diagonal elements, that is SP we get, and then negate the rest of the elements. So minus Q minus R, you directly obtain, within seconds you can obtain this adjoint A, right? So in these sort of questions, do use this form only, don't go the long way, because in competitive exams you not only need to know the concept, but you also need to have, you need to maintain your speed also, right? So we get adjoint A as this, then you are to find out A into adjoint of A. So we have the matrix A, we have adjoint A, multiply these two again. How do you multiply? PS minus QR, this will give you the first term, and similarly you find out the second term, which is RS minus SR, this will give you this term. So similarly you obtain this. So this is in fact equal to PS minus QR, this is 0, this is 0, and again we have PS minus QR. So what do? I take out common PS minus QR and I am left with this value, right? So this gives me this value, PS minus QR and identity matrix. Then we have to compute determinant of A into adjoint of A. So we are to compute determinant of this value, which is PS minus QR is constant, as we have already taken it out, and determinant of identity matrix is 1. So we get the value as PS minus QR. Okay, so that was it for this session. I hope you would have understood and enjoyed this session. The concepts were quite simple, but yes, they are related. So you'll have to know the concepts of cofactors, etc., in order to understand this concept. And do stay tuned for my future sessions as well, as we'll be switching to other topics like inverse of a matrix, then system of equations. So thank you.